Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Very Biased Opinions. It's Ian and Tom here. We are doing League One predictions. We've dubbed this round Round 36, but honestly, we have no clue what round it is. Before we jump into predictions, I have two things to do. The first one is to thank our Patreon subscribers. Thank you, PJ Simpson. Thank you, Pessimistic Brother Alan. Thank you, Uranka of Grandstand Betters. And thank you to
Matthew Bowden.
Hey, saving the best for last. And before we get into it, Ian, how did we do last week?
How did we do? Well, I did all right, but you did a bit better, Thomas. And mainly, I'm quite happy. To be fair, I'm quite happy about it because you won on the Oxford 0-0 draw. And if Charlton would have converted that penalty in the last second, I think I would have won, or it would have been
Correct.
A draw. I think I would have won, actually, wouldn't I? But
You'd have won.
I am quite happy for that to have happened because I'm glad Jack Stevens saved that penalty. So, by all means, take a 2-frame lead. You're stuffing me in Premier League predictions, so why not beat me in this one as well? But let's see if I can turn it around. Let's lead into the first game. It is the unnamed football club versus Gillingham.
Well, we all know that the unnamed football club is now going to go on an 8-game losing streak. And it has nothing to do with their unnamedfulness or hatred towards them. It has to do with the fact that every team that plays Oxford United seems to lose like 4 or 5 in a row afterwards. So the unnamed football club are going to lose this week to the Gills 2-1.
I am coming to you live from the county ground, which is home of the club that shall not be named, who have just been beaten in the derby by Oxford by 2-1. They're going to carry on that poor form and be beaten by a Gillingham side who are erratic as hell. But to be fair, it is a big game for that unnamed club. They really do need to get some wins on the board. But I'm going for a 3-1 Gillingham victory.
Blackpool versus Fleetwood Town.
Well, this is a derby, isn't it? This is a derby. Matt, our Tangerine man, our Blackpool fan, will be rubbing his hands with glee at this one, Thomas. I mean, we've just won our derby. Hopefully Blackpool can win their derby against Fleetwood there. Both of these sides have just had a win this evening by 1-0. Blackpool over MK Dons, Fleetwood over Gillingham. It's going to be tight, but I think I'm going to back Blackpool. Gary Yates got the goal tonight. Let's have another Gary Yates winner. 1-0 up the pool.
I'm going to go 2-0 to the pool. In-depth analysis, ladies and gentlemen.
Bristol Rovers versus AFC Wimbledon.
I am no longer allowed to speak about Bristol Rovers because friend of the channel Charlie Haynes supports them, and despite them having the worst man in world football working as their manager, because of him, I will stay silent. Well done after your 4-1 victory. AFC Wimbledon, though, are a club on the out. They are falling apart. They're in the relegation zone. Burton have clawed their way out, where AFC Wimbledon have fallen in. They lost again today, and they lost again to the aforementioned Burton. I don't see this going well for them. I see Bristol getting a win here, and I see it being a pretty ugly match. I'm going to go 1-0 to Bristol.
This is where you see the weirdness of League One, though, isn't it? This game, you would think Rovers are coming off the back of a wonderful win against Accrington Stanley, firmly put them in their place and showed Accrington are in a really false position in this league. And it's a great win for Rovers. AFC Wimbledon look an absolute mess. They're all at sea. You would think you would absolutely. This is a shoo-in Bristol Rovers win, but you go and watch AFC Wimbledon upset us all this weekend. But I'm going for a Rovers victory. I'm going 3-1 Bristol Rovers. Charlton versus Shrewsbury Town.
Need I mention that Charlton Athletic recently played Oxford United, therefore meaning that they must lose a series of matches. Now, yes, they did beat Northampton Town 2-1, but a blind man and a dog could beat Northampton Town 2-1, so that does not quite count. The Shrews got a big win today. They beat Rochdale, gives themselves a little bit of breathing room over that bottom 7 scrum of clubs. Ian, I went first last time, so I'll allow you to, do some talking or something.
Yeah, that's fine. So Charlton, nice to see them converting a penalty after they failed to convert one against Oxford, although I was really happy about them not converting that penalty. So good 2-1. Yeah, you summed it all up. They would have expected to win that. Rochdale look a mess, and Shrewsbury put them to the sword. A nice, comfortable win. Draw. 1-1.
I will go 0-0. No, wait, no, 2-2. Desmond.
Wow.
There's always goals in League One. Never bet on there not being goals in a game.
You won last week on a 0-0.
I know. Rash.
Crewe Alexandra versus Burton Albion.
Yes, Jimmy Floyd. You have completely turned this club around. From the bottom club, what was literally 4 weeks ago, they have flown up the league. They're now the best of the rest. They sit just below Shrewsbury Town, 4 points below. 5 straight wins in a row, something like 8 of the last 9 they've won. It has been nothing.
Playoff
push? For sure. Saying it now. 6th place finish for Burton Albion. But honestly, what he's done at this club is nothing short of magnificent. Not only that, they have 2 games in hand over Wigan, Northampton, Swindon, and Rochdale, which puts them in a really commanding position. But they've got 2 games in hand, or 3 in some cases, on half the clubs above them. This is a club that really do have a chance to easily get into the mid-table, where they belong, and have a good season, magically, having been the worst club in the league for months. So, I love you, Jimmy Floyd. Have my children. And right. Jimmy Floyd's Band of Misfits to win 2-0.
Right. Crewe had a good win today. They had a really good win over Doncaster. That's a fantastic result for them. That's reignites their hope for the playoff. But I'm just going to say this right now. Last game of the season is Oxford United home to Burton. Is that going to be the team who wins it ends up in the playoffs?
I mean, how fantastic would that be? Just for a final match. Like, it would suck for whoever loses that, but how
I would be fucking nervous because I wouldn't think fancy Oxford's chances against them at the moment. But so it's going to be unpredictable. I mean, you just got to back Burton at the moment. They're looking really solid, and I know we don't like to do the same scores, but 2-0 sounds about right to me, and you've got to get on this Burton train.
Yeah, if you're not on the Burton train.
You're not on the Burton train?
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Doncaster Rovers, or Bells, versus Northampton Town.
Doncaster, just, what are they doing? Another unpredictable result for them today. They lost 1-0.
So
They're
weird.
coming up against Northampton, who Northampton had a fantastic victory over Portsmouth at the weekend. Let's not overshadow that one. To beat them 4-1 is nothing short of remarkable, but they couldn't back it up today. Back to form for them, losing 2-1 to Charlton. They will need to be a bit more... they were gifted goals, although the first goal they scored against Pompey was a beauty. And that's been the biggest trouble, isn't it? Northampton just don't generally stick the ball in the back of the net. Solid win for Donny. I think I'm going to go for a 2-0 Doncaster win.
I do think Doncaster have slightly become that team that everyone in the top 6 seems to become, where they have a great run of form, they get into the top 6, they're really cemented, they get near the top, and then for the next month it's just win, loss, draw, win, loss, draw. They're on a really tough run, but Darren Moore left, and they've looked pretty good since then until today, so I'll back them for this. I'll go 3-0 to Donny.
It seems like a pretty cut and dry. That sounds like the banker of your ACCA this weekend, doesn't it? Doncaster and Northampton. But the Milton Keynes Dons versus Accrington Stanley.
MK Dons have done what every team does after I speak highly of them. They've just completely fallen apart since the Oxford game. Almost won it, failed to win it the last, and they've lost 3 straight games since then. Like, they've completely fallen apart. Everything that makes them hard to beat has started to fail. They definitely can't put the ball in the back of the net right now. And in exchange, Accrington Stanley are also saying, whatever you can do, hold our beer, we'll do just as well, as they've fallen out the playoff places. They're still only 2 points away, but it's not looking great for them. I do love them, and I do think they'll win this. I think they'll win this 2-1.
It's tight. It's so tight. I mean, every side's just going through little dips and flows. It's so many. I mean, even you could go all the way down. You can't rule out sides like Plymouth in 15th place. They're only a couple of wins off from being on the playoff places and jumping
Burton
up there. It is yeah, well, I know it sounds silly. They'll have to go some, won't they? But if they carry on the form, then they're going to fly up the league, and they'll be there or thereabouts. But so it's not surprising. I mean, with the relentless schedule as well, it's not surprising that you do see sides have a good win and then have a shocker and then have a good win again. It's just going to be the way it's going to be right the way till the end of the season. And yeah, MK Don's form is worrying, and I think they'll come out of this one as a draw. This will be my Desmond, I think, because I'm loath to back Accrington now. Oxford have finally got above them for the first time, maybe ever. 2-2.
Deuces, baby. Ipswich Town versus
Plymouth Argyle.
Green Army.
You didn't do anything for Ipswich.
What am I supposed to do for Ipswich?
Could have done a tractor noise, like that man off Police Academy would have done.
No, that's terrible. It's terrible.
Doesn't sound anything like the guy off Police Academy.
Right, enough of that. So Ipswich, since we're on a decent run, fired Paul Lampert and have lost and drawn a match, because that is exactly what happens to clubs that fire managers. It's bad. Never fire your manager.
No. I agree with that, but not in the case of Paul Lambert. They should have done it fucking last year.
But they're only a point off the playoffs, Ian. They're looking not good, but they did draw 1-1 with Lincoln City, which is a huge result, really positive for them. The Green Army lost to Wigan.
Shocker. Really, really, really obscure result, that one. And
4 losses out of their last 5. They plummeted down the league.
Hit the skids, didn't they? They've really come unstuck after it looking so pretty. And again, you're going to go back to just saying, I'm no doubt they probably got their fair share of injuries and it's difficult to get out of the tailspin. I think Ipswich will win. I'm going to go over 2-1 Ipswich victory.
Plymouth Argyle 2-1. Let's do it. Do it, Ian. Let's go to war.
Let's do it. Lincoln City. Oh, it's a sad tale against my beloved Rochdale.
Yeah, so your beloved Rochdale lost again. Lost 4 in a row now. Not a great run that they're on, but Lincoln have drawn with Ipswich. They're kind of fallen down the table a little bit. They're now in 3rd. Yeah, it's only 4 points off top. But
the biggest thing for Lincoln is Grant is out for the season now. He's their main goal scorer. He got injured in the game at the weekend, and now he's out for the season. So that's a huge blow for them. Decent result today against Ipswich, but with them winning and leading, it might have been a game. If he was playing, they might have won. So you never know. But they will be fancying their chances in this one of getting a really nice, comfortable win on the board. And I don't see how you can possibly back against it. And I don't see how Rochdale are keeping with Brian Barry Murphy, because it just seems like they're just accepting the inevitable and they're going to go down.
It's so weird what's happening at Rochdale. Like, I think pre-season we might have had them in about 21st place, maybe 20th. We didn't think they'd do well, but we didn't think they'd be as bad as they've been to end the year. And when's the last time they won a match?
I think we did have them to go down, though, didn't we, at the start of the season? And I just,
it's your favourite club, though.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't see like the lack of quality, and they sold their main goal scorer, didn't they, Henderson? And he was a guy who really carried the club. And I know that when Oxford played them, that they were a joy to watch in terms of the way they attacked and kept attacking. But the confidence is just shot now, and they're not scoring the goals they're scoring, and the defence is just leaky as hell, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to turn that around. But it is tight, and you only need one win, and you can bounce off again. But that doesn't look like it's going to come this weekend. But I'm going to let you pick first.
4-0 Lincoln.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3-0. Just go one behind. It's kind of the classic, very biased opinions move, that, isn't it?
The field goals.
I'm scissoring you there, Thomas. I'm scissoring you.
Well, if you're scissoring me, I suspect we'll probably get this wrong, because that's what happens to us. It'll probably be a 2-1 Rochdale win. Put your hands down. Hands down.
Fresh off Derby Day glory, we head into this final match with Oxford having a trip up to near my neck of the woods. Let's hope they can get that banner win and charge into the playoffs. It is time for the main event.
Top of the table, Hull City Tigers hosting the Yellows, Oxford United.
I had the audience in the palm of my hands, Thomas. I was absolutely like, everybody was on the edge of their seat. And then as soon as you said Tigers, everyone's clicked off.
Why?
Because he was going to change the name to Hull City Tigers, wasn't he? And that pissed off all their fans. And now you've done exactly the same.
Oh, I get it. The fans have quit because of me. Oh, that makes more sense. Cool.
And look,
it's that have stuck this out.
It's another time Oxford have to face the league leaders. We did that the other week against Peterborough and did pretty well. And I think Hull were top of the league when we played them at the Kassam Stadium as well. And that ended in a very, very good 1-1 draw. But Oxford are coming off the back of their Derby Day victory. If you haven't checked out my review of that, go and click on it in the top corner. It was something of a game, and Oxford won it somehow. They deserved to win it, but they did their best to try and throw it away. But they got over the line, and they need to improve, not defensively, but definitely offensively in this game against Hull. But obviously, Tom will talk more about Hull in our preview video at the weekend. But what do you feel, Mr. Pickering, is going to be the score in this one? But just remember, we can't all both say a 5-0 Oxford.
Well, Ian, I've actually enjoyed that for the last, I think, 5 or 6 games. You've given me advice beforehand. So please, what is your advice for this game?
Well, I think that judging on the fact that the last time we went to Hull, they battered us and we never got the chance to play them again for something like 20 years in the same league, and they went off and played in the Premier League and we went off and played in the conference, and it was like a sliding doors moment, if you like. And I think that based on that logic, I think that you would be a fool not to back Hull City in this game.
Yep, I'm going to agree with that. 3-0 Hull.
Ow! You didn't even try and sugarcoat it or anything. Tough break.
I mean, we'll do the actual predictions, but without any additional research, 3-0 Hull.
Yeah, well, let's see what Oxford can cobble together as a side. Hopefully, Brannigan's not too badly injured and can play again. And
did Goran pick up a yellow today?
No, Goran is going to be playing in it. Amazingly, he managed to skirt through the derby without getting a book in, but he's playing in it. And I think we've been competing. We haven't been pasted by a side all season by that scoreline, so I like to think that's not going to happen. I obviously I can't show any weakness, and I'm going to say somehow, some way, Oxford come away with a 2-1 win.
All that is left for me to say is thank you all for watching. Thank you to those of you who subscribed. If you haven't already subscribed, please smash the subscribe button. And, give us a like as well. It really helps out this video. In addition, all our social media links are below. Our affiliates are below. Please, if you're enjoying this, sign up on Patreon. It really helps us out. It gives us a reason to live. I'm told that if we don't get to 10 subscribers by the end of the season, an angel dies? Is that the show notes? Says it in the show notes. It must be real. Thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow for the Oxford United preview show and Saturday for our live stream as Ian covers Hull vs Oxford. I cover every other game under the sun. Stay safe. Stay well. Lots of love. See you tomorrow.